On this video, I want to deal with the music industry, or what I like to call the wicked music industry. Now, my main focus is going to be on the industry as a whole, but I'll use a few key people to bring out certain facts. I'm going to deal with Michael Jackson and what really happened to him. I'm going to deal with Beyonce and Rihanna and show you what they're really about. And on a smaller scale, I'll deal with some other artists as well. So let's start with Michael Jackson. I want to go back to the end of his life first and break down what really happened to Mike. We'll begin with a speech that he gave in London where he deals with the music industry and his record label.
Let me just say this. The tradition of great performers and I really want you to hear what I have to say. The tradition of great performers from Sammy Davis Jr. to James Brown to Jackie Wilson. The story is usually the same though. These guys work really hard at their craft, but the story ends the same. They usually are broken, torn, and usually just sad. And the story, they're sad in the end because the companies take advantage of them. They really do. And being the artist that I am at Sony, I've generated several $1 billion for Sony, several billion, and they really thought that my mind is always on music and dancing, and it usually is, but they never thought that this performer, myself, would outthink them.
Yeah!
So we can't let them get away with what they're trying to do because now I'm a free agent.
Yeah.
I just owe Sony one more album. It's just a box set, really. And I can do the box set, just give them any 2 songs. So I'm leaving Sony a free agent, owning half of Sony. So I own half of Sony's publishing, and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it. But I just did good business, So the way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album.
Okay, let me explain this. Basically, what Mike is saying is this. Under his contract, he only had to do one more album, and then he would be out of his contract with Sony, and he was going to leave Sony owning half the company. Now, Sony didn't like that, so when he made his album called Invincible, Sony didn't promote it, and they did everything they could do to make sure it didn't sell, as a way to get back at Mike for wanting to leave. Now, you got to understand, Michael Jackson had a 30-year relationship with Sony. He made them a lot of money. He said, I generated several $1 billion. So Sony wasn't going to let Mike just walk away scot-free. They had to do something. All right, let's go back to the speech.
Thank you. I love Unbreakable. And Tommy Mottola is a devil.
See, during the end of his life, Michael Jackson started to speak out against the things that was going on in the music industry. But it was much more than him just trying to get out of a record contract. Mike was involved in something much bigger than that, and he was frustrated with the situation he was in. So out of frustration, he called Tommy Mottola a devil.
And Tommy Mottola is a devil.
Now, Tommy Mottola was the head of Sony Music at that time. And Michael Jackson and Tommy Mottola didn't get along at all because Mike knew that he was only being used by Tommy Mottola. Mike was tired of being a slave and he wanted his freedom. Now, Michael's father, Joe Jackson, got Michael and his brothers into the music industry when they were young kids. But Michael was always the standout star, so the Illuminati came after him. They knew he would be the one to bring in the big money. So they told little Mike everything he wanted to hear, and they promised him the whole world. All he had to do to get it was sign his life away and sell his soul to the devil. See, in order to reach superstardom on this earth, you gotta sell out. Why? Because the scriptures tell you that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's why the Bible says, love not the world, neither the things in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Now, why does it say that? Because the people who rule this world are wicked. And if you want to live like they live, you have to become wicked and do what they tell you to do. This is nothing new. Satan tried to use this same trick on Christ. Let's read it. That's Matthew 4, 8 and 9. Verse 8. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. See, that's what the music industry is all about. They offer you the good life, fame, fortune, and everything you desire, but in return, you gotta sell them your soul. This is not make-believe. This stuff is really happening in the music industry. Let me show you what Kanye West said at one of his concerts.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. Lisa came with a few toys like a Happy Meal. I'm spaced out, dog. I be on that moon talk. I wonder if God asked Mike how to moonwalk.
He said, I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. Lisa came with a few toys like a Happy Meal. Then he made a reference to God talking to Michael Jackson. But let me replay that first part one more time so that you can hear him clearly say it again.
I sold my soul to the devil. I sold my soul to the devil.
Kanye West didn't just say that to be creative. He really sold his soul to the devil. You have to sell your soul to get to the level where he is. You got to do what they tell you to do. You got to act like they tell you to act. You got to dress like they tell you to dress because they own you. They become your God and you have to worship them. And when I say they and them, I'm talking about the Illuminati, the people who run the music industry, the people who run the whole entertainment industry for that matter. These people are Satan worshipers. They are directly connected to the devil, and by selling out to them, you automatically sell out to the devil. And that's why Michael Jackson called Tommy Mottola a devil.
And Tommy Mottola is a devil.
See, Michael Jackson grew up in the music industry, and he knew what it was all about. He sold his soul to the devil a long time ago. Now, most people will look at this picture and see a young boy